Paqoe is a hacker and she hacked her verification of Silent Clubstep. Well, that's what this theory says at least. If you didn't know, a few days ago, the Geometry Dash YouTube Shorts channel Secret Way just did an interview with SpaceUK. Yes, the actual SpaceUK. The SpaceUK, the biggest hacker of Geometry Dash. The SpaceUK, the one who hacked Slaughterhouse and who couldn't react, otherwise he would have coughed so much. I wanna say, bro, this interview is actually generational. Like, how did they do that? Like, actually, what they did will actually be part of GD history. Anyway, so yeah, Secret Way did an interview with SpaceUK, and during that interview, they asked Space if he had any suspicions towards certain top players, and this is what Space responded.
Well, we can talk about this. I mean, I'm probably really, if I'm wrong, I probably am wrong. It's probably really ignorant, but I'll say it anyways because what I think. It sounds funny from me, but yeah, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Paqoe's a hacker. I don't think Paqoe probably hacked all the achievements. But if there was one hacked, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Silent Clubstep.
Okay, I know what you all must be thinking. This is not very credible coming from Space. I mean, he was a hacker, and not any hacker, he was the Geometry Dash hacker. He lied to us for nearly 2 years, and plus, Paqoe was literally the person who exposed him. So yeah, this story doesn't really hold up. But Space has some arguments, which leads him to believe that Paqoe might be a hacker and might have hacked Silent Clubstep. First off, she never streamed her verification of the level. All the big top players all stream their progress on almost every hard level they play. And okay, I'm not saying that every top player should always stream when they play a hard level, but it wasn't any level here. It was freaking Silent Clubstep, one of the most legendary impossible levels of Geometry Dash. How can you not stream yourself trying to verify such a level? Unless it's if you're hiding something. And that's one of the reasons why Space thinks Paqoe is sus. And he would know, he himself would almost never stream himself playing Demon List levels. Why? Well, simply because he hacked them. If this first argument didn't convince you, well, the next one surely will. Before he got exposed, Space said that someone showed him an anti-cheat he made, and later that someone would present that anti-cheat to the Demon List, hoping that the list would accept it. But they refused it, for the sole reason that that someone was deemed untrustworthy. But still, this is very weird. Why wouldn't you want an anti-cheat? And even weirder is the fact that Space said that the only Demon List member that someone talked about his anti-cheat to was none other than Paqoe. And if you didn't know, Paqoe is the head of the Demon List. Or at least she was back then. I don't know if she's still the head of the Demon List. I don't really know how exactly the Demon List works, but we can assume that the head of the list, well, is the person who has the most control over it. And by the Demon List here, I mean the Demon List as the organization, and not only the top 150. I'm not saying Paqoe has the power to do anything she wants regarding the list, like create new rules, make decisions and stuff like that, without asking the other members' opinions. Or maybe she does, I don't know. But remember what I said, Paqoe was the only Demon List member who knew about this anti-cheat. And she said to the person who made that anti-cheat that the Demon List team didn't accept to use it. What if it was only her who didn't accept to use it? What if it was only her who made that decision? For what reason did she do that? What if it wasn't because the creator of the anti-cheat was deemed quote-unquote untrustworthy? What if she didn't want the Demon List to use that anti-cheat because she would run the risk to get exposed because of it? Now, you might be thinking, if Paqoe was a hacker and if she hacked Silent Clubstep, shouldn't we found that out a long time ago? I mean, like, it's Silent Clubstep, one of the most famous Geometry Dash levels of all time. Over 1 million people have watched its verification. Surely some of them tried scrutinizing it to see if it was not hacked. And the fact that this verification is still considered as legit, well, should definitely mean that Paqoe is not a hacker. But remember, Paqoe is the head of the Demon List. She and the list know many methods on how to detect if someone is hacking, and if you're a hacker, the best way for you not to get detected is by learning all these hacking detection methods so that in the end you can come up with an undetectable hack. So that's the theory of this video. Paqoe is using that undetectable hack. She is a hacker and she hacked her verification of Silent Clubstep this whole time. In another universe, baby. Bro, I hope all the bullshit I just said won't turn out to be true. Sorry for not having said that from the start, but this video was made for entertainment purposes only. In other words, don't fucking take it seriously. Like the head of the demon list being a hacker this whole time. I mean, that will be peak writing in absolute cinema, but like, bro, that will be wild. The good guy being the main villain the whole time, like, that would actually be the plot twist of the century. I mean, the arguments Space gave aren't really that convincing. Okay, Paqoe didn't stream her verification of Silent Clubstep, but I think Vision didn't either, and as far as I know, he's not accused of being a hacker. And there are probably a bunch of top players on the Demon List Stats viewer who don't stream their level progress and completion. Maybe because it's hard for them, or maybe because they just don't want to, or simply don't care about doing that. And also about the anti-cheat that got refused by the Demon List, well, the reason it got refused is probably because it simply is not a good anti-cheat. And also, finally, before answering Secret Way, Space literally prefaced by saying that what he would be about to say would probably be bullshit. So even he knows that, yeah, that theory is bullshit. There is no proof of Paqoe being a hacker, nor that she hacked Silent Clubstep. I made this video only because I thought this idea of Paqoe, the head of the demon list, the verifier of Silent Clubstep, and the person who exposed SpaceUK being a hacker, very funny. But yeah, if somehow this ends up turning out being the truth, then yeah, at that moment, that won't be very funny at all anymore. Take this video more as fiction, it's a theory, but hey, we all believed SpaceUK was the best Geometry Dash player of all time for nearly 2 years, before it turned out that he was actually a hacker all along. So, who knows? Okay, stop. Really, I repeat, don't believe this theory, don't take it seriously. It's all just a theory. Again, sorry, I couldn't hold myself. Anyways, here's a funny meme I found on Twitter.